Welcome to the Groomer next door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Alright, we need to make sure we give a shout out to Squarespace. Squarespace is an amazing website that has helped us set up our website.
It has been the easiest transition to build your own website. It took me all of 3 days, and that's not 3 days of pulling out my hair. It's 3 days of probably 2-3 hours at most per day.
It was easy to write in bios, to add pictures. It's a great website, and thanks to them, since we are nonprofit and we're trying to spread word about proper health of pets, they sponsor us. So we want to make sure everybody knows, if you want to go and set up a web page for family, for business, for just fun and games, visit Squarespace first.
Yep, go to squarespace.com, go for the 14-day trial. I guarantee by the 4th day of having your trial, you'll actually sign up. And it's a simple $7.99 a month. I mean, really, it's the same price as Netflix until Netflix goes up on their price in a couple days.
Exactly.
So, anyway, if you want to take a look at our page, we're the Groomer Next Door .squarespace.com. You'll kind of get a good idea of what we've done. Take a look at our photos, as Sarah mentioned, our blog, and upcoming events. Again, that's squarespace.com. Hello and welcome to episode 28 of The Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host, Chris Green. Sitting next to me is Sarah.
Hello.
We're actually recording for the very first time in our new studio.
Studio home.
Yep. Studio garage, everybody. Yeah, actually, you know, it's funny. We have so much technology and all this options that, you know, it just seemed like a good idea.
Well, it's a beautiful day out. We're so sick and tired of being frigid cold. We have our citronella candle lit so we don't get eaten up alive. And
our dog's warm in the front yard.
Yeah, Katana's hanging out with us while the other two, who aren't exactly as trustworthy, if a cat goes running by, as Katana is. Katana, she stays in the yard, she stays put. We could actually probably leave her out here if I wasn't worried about her getting stolen.
That is true, yeah. It's so
AKC
funny.
Papered Akita.
You're right. And it's funny because I'm looking at her and she's just laying there and just all chill, having a good one. And, you know, it's sunset. It's, you know, it's quite nice out here. You know, we're trying out all new ideas. Actually, we're testing out a new idea. Hopefully in a few weeks, there will be a Springfield Cardinal game. I'm in contact with the Humane Society that actually will be part of it. They're in Springfield, Missouri. I'm trying to actually lock down the director to actually have an interview while there. During the game, there will be a jersey auction that Sarah and I participate in, a couple of them per season. And what we'll do is we'll pay the donation fee, which you can either bid or you can just buy out the jersey. We always buy them out.
We found it's very easy just to be one of the first ones in line. You run over, you have your top picks, because sometimes family buys a jersey.
Season ticket holders and family.
Right. So you have to have a list of the top 5 people that you want. You go look for them, and if you find whoever's on the top of your list, you write the full amount and your name.
Well, you just do buyout.
Yeah.
You do buyout.
And the buyout's at $195.
Yeah, $195, and you get to buy out the jersey, which will be used later on that day in the game. What happens afterwards is you actually are taken on the field with whoever else actually either won their bid or they were able to buy out their jersey as well.
And family or
well, yeah, there are by phone. You could do it by phone as well, but you're not going to have as much option. And then what you do is you walk out on the field, which this is the best part. You're escorted out on the field. You go over by the Springfield Cardinals dugout, and the player comes out of the dugout. All of the players come out. They all take the jerseys off, and whoever is the number you're holding, that player comes up and they will talk to you.
Yeah, they sign the jersey because you never know who they're going to be.
Well, that's so true.
Even at that, I really don't care. I love Springfield Cardinals.
Yeah.
We get front row seats.
Oh, boy, it's awesome.
We get to see Claire loves it.
Yes.
I mean, I love my Cardinals on TV, but Springfield Cardinals, I want to go to because I can sit close. You go to the St. Louis Cardinal game, you get nosebleed seats for what we pay for front
Not
row.
even. You have one ticket. When we have gone to St. Louis to see the actual Cardinals play, we spent about $75 a ticket, and we're all the way at the top where we can buy a ticket at the very front behind home plate where you can almost smell the cleats that have not been, the dirty socks and the cleat. You can almost smell it from there. And we're spending $15 a ticket.
Yeah.
What a good deal. But the whole purpose of that is the Springfield Humane Society will be there. I did have the chance to talk to them yesterday. They're going to be discussing what they're doing, their upcoming events, and they will have dogs for adoption. I was told while
that's
they're
nice.
there. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So we're testing out our travel, I guess you'd call
They're
these.
traveling mics.
Our traveling mics. Obviously, we have like a studio of different equipment, which is ridiculous. I know.
It's a hobby.
It is a hobby.
People spend a ton of money on their hobbies. Well, here we go.
Yeah, this didn't cost hardly anything, so it was really nice, and so we're testing it out.
I'm looking forward to going, and what's nice is that the whole donation goes straight to
Yes.
the shelter, and shelters in big cities really need help.
Yeah.
Yes, our small town shelters need help too. That goes without saying. But the large city shelters are the ones that have the highest kill rate in anywhere. I know Orange County shelter, the dogs are there for 7 days, and if they're not adopted within 7 days, they are put to sleep because there's so many of them. And it's completely sad. So the more that you can help a big city shelter, the better off, and the more you can help save lives.
And a lot of people, they don't know where Springfield, Missouri is. And trust me, when I first heard of Springfield, I automatically was saying, ooh, The Simpsons? And actually, it is kind of funny. As you're driving out there, there is a big billboard as you're driving in. Has a Simpsons Homer on there, and it's hilarious. Welcome to Springfield, home of the Simpsons, even though there is no guarantee what Springfield it's in, but
since there is a Springfield,
there's Illinois and a few other ones that I know of. So it's kind of cool. But enough of that. We're trying out this whole process, seeing if we can actually do the travel mic. Anyway, so episode 28. What do you want to talk about?
Well, excuse me, Carla, the head boss.
Yes, the boss.
The one to fear. No,
yes.
I love her to death. She's amazing.
I'm still afraid of her.
But she tagged me in this photo she found on Pinterest about a bunch of different stuff. And it was grooming relatable quotes. It's called Things Not to Say to a Hot, Tired Groomer.
And this could also be a cold, tired groomer if it's the winter.
If it's freezing.
Yes, we've already been down those times where it's below freezing temperatures.
But hey, with nice heaters that Keith has installed, keeps that place nice.
I was feeling that it was cold outside when I went outside, but I didn't freeze while being inside.
It was quite nice. And we've had a really bad winter.
Oh boy, man, it was the worst we've ever seen.
So when I go on my breaks, I go outside, and then you gotta deal with the frigid, and it's going from nice and toasty to frigid. So anywho, all these quotes I want to go over to help make people aware or help
the actual pet owner when they're actually going into the grooming salon to actually
know what they're talking about.
Exactly. We're trying to make this as delicate as possible.
Exactly, because you don't want somebody to feel bad because they said it, but to educate them a little bit. Groomers, if someone has ever said this to you, you'd understand. And folks, if you have said this to other groomers, or you've said that to any groomer at all, don't feel bad. They should understand where you're coming from. It's honest to goodness, just complete innocence on when saying this. But we get these kind of comments all the time.
Boy, did you want to actually read one? I'll read one, or do you just want to read them all?
Well, we can go back and forth.
It's all up to you.
You can read, and I'll answer.
Oh, you want me to read all of them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and as you can tell, we this is just how we are. Okay, I'm going to start at the first one. Now, I'm going to actually post this on our website. I am definitely going to post this on our website, this absolute awesome photo. All right, so the first one says, shave him down? I want my border collie to look like a lab. I can't stand all the hair.
That we hear quite commonly with like golden retrievers and such. You know, whatever you want done, a groomer should do it. But there's some parts where you need to be educated on it. A border collie, their hair, yes, is long, but it's also helped to keep them cool. And if you didn't want a dog with so much hair, you probably shouldn't have bought or adopted a dog with a lot of hair. I've had a lot of people come in with poodles, and the first thing they say to me is, don't make him look like a poodle. I understand your heart falls for whatever dog that you end up falling in love with. Sometimes you can't exactly choose the breed. Sorry, I guess I gotta talk a little louder here.
You're not used to seeing all the stuff in front of you.
Yeah, right. So when you bring your border collie in, you can get them cut down, but it might not be a smart idea to shave them down short as a lab, due to the fact they're still going to shed, just shorter and sharper pieces. Meaning when they do shed those hairs out that were already cut, you can step on them and get it lodged in your foot. I mean, I've done that with my Akita, who has never been shaved. She sheds, and I step on a hair and I have to pull it out of my foot. So, honestly, shaving down the dog isn't going to help. It just makes it smaller pieces. Cutting them down would help a little without screwing up their texture of their coat. But we've had people say that about golden retrievers and such, but it's best not to shave a long-haired dog down if they're supposed to be long-haired, excluding Shih Tzus, Lhasas, Yorkies, and such.
All right, good.
Next one.
You didn't get her nails very short. Well, of course, if you reference back a couple episodes, we did nail trimming.
Yes.
So that's one that you can reference back, but the groomer, go ahead and give us your input.
We can only cut back as far as a quick will let us. So if your dog's nails are super long because you haven't brought them in every 4 weeks like you should be, or every 6 weeks, the quick grows out. And the only way to reseed that quick is to get them trimmed often. So if your dog doesn't have short enough nails, that's probably the reason why. Most groomers want those nails as short as possible so they don't get scratched, or they don't have people complaining to them. So most of the time they are short.
All right. Now, this is my favorite one. I've definitely heard this one before. Of course, I'm gonna, the name here is, gonna be a different name, but this goes on and on and on. She bit you. Fifi never bites.
I've had people when I tell them, hey, your pup was a good pup. The only problem is that they got a little aggressive. She did kind of nit me. I try to play down the bite so I don't make the people feel terrible. But I do tell them that, your pup did bite. And I've had the same response. But Oscar never bites. Okay, right. He never bites at home. But you're not holding a clipper to him. You're not rattling his bones with the clippers. You're not putting him in or completely awkward situations like squeezing the anal glands or pulling ear hair.
Yeah, and I got that today.
Yeah. Bailey wasn't so nice with the ear hair pulling.
She did, but
Bailey and Easton. Easton didn't like it when you did it.
I didn't do it to Easton.
Yes, you did.
Did I?
I did Bailey's. You did Easton.
That's right. I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, folks. Another day where we had a lot of dogs, even one that we didn't even have on the books. just kind of was there. Okay. So,
So when the groomer says it, I'm sorry I cut you off. I just had this one thought pop up. When the groomer says it, don't be offended. Just understand that it can happen, no matter how good your dog is at home. And it could be too that the groomer moved too quickly and got him. That happens too.
it does. Of course, it can happen in a lot of ways, and it might not always be a bite. We're talking about a bite in this comment, but it could also be just one of those warning things, or a little warning bite. We're talking this was an actual story of she bit you, Fifi never bites. It was actually bite more than anything else.
Because honestly, if a dog wants to bite you, the dog's gonna bite.
Oh yeah, and it will get you.
Yeah, because the dogs are so quick.
Oh boy. All right, the other one. Now the next one. This is a funny one because we've mentioned it before in previous podcasts. I want a puppy cut.
Oh my gosh. I am so done with that.
I think we even talked about it the last episode, maybe in the episode before. I know it wasn't that long ago, folks.
All I know is I'm done with it. A summer shave down, to me, short and smooth, could be a puppy cut. It's one length on the body, the legs, and the feet. It could be longer, it could be shorter. Body, legs, feet. So when people come in and they ask for puppy cuts, I just automatically go to, well, what length did you want the dog? Puppy cut does not cover the exact length.
I know we've ranted about this one before.
Yeah, I kind of.
So we can kind of move on, but all right. Next one. I love my golden doodle's long hair. Just take a bit off the top. Did I tell you? He just loves the pool.
Oh, the pool or the lake or the river. Any big bodies of water. I mean, come on. Lab and a poodle mixed together equals love water. They're all about the water. Now, what people don't understand is that when you mix water and a dog, especially if it's a river or a lake that might be just a little tingy or, dirt, mud, such, doesn't help the situation. But as the dog's drying off, they're running, they're playing, they're moving. And as they're doing that, this long hair that you want to keep on your dog is moving back and forth. Ladies, take your long hair, put it in one hand, take your other hand on top of it, move your hands back and forth like you're giving yourself a skin burn. Then look at your hair after it's dried. That's what happens to the dog's hair. It gets matted and nasty. And if you want me to demat that dog, I will not do it.
Now, hold on. That was being very sexist, huh?
Okay, take your chin hair.
Well, there are some guys who have long hair. I think, I'm going to fight for the guys here. That's a very sexist comment.
Oh, God.
I have very long chin hair here, so, I could feel very discriminated against.
Oh, God.
This is an unhealthy work environment.
Blah, 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 blah. I love you.
All right. Next one. Are you were done?
Yeah, just, if the dog has mats and you only want a little bit taken off, people don't realize how much it hurts the dog to demat. Some dogs are champs. They're troopers, man. They'll hold still for one mat. But when it's matted all over the body, 1, you risk hurting the skin.
Oh, yeah.
2, you risk damaging the hair because you're ripping it. And 3, it's not fun for the groomer. Groomers are susceptible to arthritis and carpal tunnel. It's just what happens with the job. It's a risk that you take. Anywho, too much. We can't do that. So, matted? No.
No bueno. The next one. Now, I had said this for years. Now, of course, I said this in joking.
Yeah, uh-huh.
I said it in joking.
Uh-huh.
I still say this about myself, though, and I do this. You are so lucky. All you do is play with dogs all day. Which, folks, I feel like this is true to me. But, okay. Go ahead.
Well, somebody said this to me one time, And
Wasn't it my mom?
I think it was.
I think it was. I think that's where it all started. I heard it.
I came unglued.
Yeah.
It was a bad day anyways, and I think we met up at Newport Beach,
I don't remember.
Costa Mesa, next to South Coast Plaza.
Probably having it in
Bodine.
Bodine. Yeah, that
Right.
sounds about right.
So we were at dinner. It was like a Saturday night, because that's typically when I would go out there. We're sitting down at dinner, and she just pops off, wow, it just must be great to work with dogs. All you do is play with them and love on them. For the most part, on a good day, yeah. But that day, no.
No.
I got bit, and I was supposed to report it, but I didn't. I already had my tetanus shot, so, nobody needs to know that now. Hush, hush, wink, wink.
I think that's a previous episode with another groomer who was on a prior episode, had the same little discussion.
So, I didn't mention it, but I did get bit, and it was a pretty bad bite. This is probably, I want to say, a year into actually fully grooming.
No, it was longer than that.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It had to be 3 years in.
Okay. Well, I looked at her. I said, you know what? I work hard for what I do. I have to deal with teeth. I have to deal with nails. I have to deal with so much. Excuse me.
You can't walk away from the mic when it's attached to you. Is that ever just hilarious? It is fun.
Well, it's hard when you have such bad allergies.
But it is great, though. We're sitting out here with a nice drink. This is quite nice.
We'll
Sorry,
take a
folks.
drink here and I'll continue
Well,
with that conversation.
Yeah.
But, eventually, once I cooled down, I was able to explain to her, my job is amazing. I don't want to do anything else career-wise. But you gotta understand, too. Don't take anything away from how hard I work. Groomers have to deal with teeth, nails, headbutts. I was plumb knocked out once.
I've actually I took some abuse today.
Well, I had a schnauzer one time. I mean, you know this. I had a schnauzer one time that didn't like the nails. My mistake, he was on my hydraulic table that lifted up. It was up too high. And when he didn't like it, he reared up. Well, when he reared up, he hit my temple with the strongest point of his head, the occiput.
Oh.
I fell to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Believe that.
Blacked out. Luckily, it was only for a few seconds because that dog was standing on that table by itself. No one else was there. And this is another reason why groomers shouldn't work alone, because you never know what's going to happen. We broke policy that night because somebody didn't want to pay for overtime. So, please, people, realize, yes, we get to play with dogs, but it is very hard. It's very painful at times. And there's days where you just got to put this difficult, aggressive dog down and go for a walk.
Well said. As she admitted, she was knocked out by a dog. So, folks, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. Even a dog can knock you out. I mean, I played hockey. I never got knocked out by playing hockey. So, I mean, yeah, I think a dog could take me out.
A schnauzer, nonetheless, took me out.
Yeah. So, here's my favorite one, and this is really the basis of the Groomer Next Door podcast. This is kind of how it all, in some sense, kind of comes together, and we've mentioned this a million times. So, here's the quote. What? Thank you. You have to shave her? What? and it really is exactly like that. I know you said to brush her every day, but I just don't have time for that. And that's the basis of this whole podcast. I don't even think we have to reference back. We have 27 episodes to kind of work through that one.
Oh man, I've had people. Okay.
Are you still on the what?
That too, but excuse me.
Better than me doing a Mickey
It's another
voice.
Schnauzer.
Oh boy.
Okay. Back in California.
Do you want to have a couch? Do you need a couch to lay on and talk about schnauzers and what they've done to you? Is this now, instead of the groomer next door, the
I love
psychiatrist
schnauzers.
next door talking about schnauzers?
If
Schnauzers.
had a chance to have a long-haired dog that I really want to deal with given a haircut, I would have gotten a Schnauzer. But, anywho, so this lady owns a Schnauzer, and Schnauzers have a lot of different coats. This particular Schnauzer had more of a cottony fuzzy coat. Instead of the more string fuzz. Anywho, so she comes in, the dog is matted. I'm talking about, it's wrapped around its elbow. The mats are wrapped around its
Did you ask if she was Rastafarian?
no, old white lady.
That doesn't mean anything. Again, why are you having to be like this?
Anywho. Now I got something against old people, I guess.
All people who like reggae. I mean, what's wrong with you tonight?
That would be freaking awesome. Anywho, so...
They're not mats, they're dreadlocks for dogs.
So these mats are wrapped around the toenails. I got as far as trimming the toenails and pulling the mats off the toes. It was terrible. Well, I told the lady, I am terribly sorry, but you're gonna have to shave your... We are going to have to shave your dog naked. Naked. I said I can leave eyebrows, and I can leave a mustache, no goatee. She wasn't gonna have it.
I had to ask the question: Magnum PI goatee, or are we talking like the Wyatt
Mustache?
Earp?
Yeah,
More like the Wyatt Earp cool one, or like that
Magnum.
one guy from Ghost Rider. I can't think of his name. The cowboy guy.
I mean, I could have done a handlebar.
He has a cool handlebar.
With chops.
I liked his one. I mean, the Magnum PI is not bad, but
Well, so the lady says, "Well, hand me a brush. This will brush right out." And at that time, she had me so mad. But you know me, a straight-faced Sarah. I can keep it together, smile on my face. Yeah, you're crazy, lady, but here, I'm going to give you my brush. I will comb out the rest of my dog. You can take my brush. So she takes my brush. She goes and sits on the patio thing, right where the window was, and so I can see her the whole time. And she's brushing and brushing. She's got this smile on her face. She thinks that she's just so smart. She brings the dog in 10 minutes later. Because I told her she has 15 minutes to brush this out, or I'm going to have to call in another dog because I can't have cancellations and gaps in my schedule. You know, groomers work on commission. You don't work, you don't get paid. You don't get paid, your family goes hungry. So she took exactly 15 minutes. Came back in and was so proud of herself. Puts the Schnauzer up on our little table that we can check the dogs in on. And she brushed just the top coat. Just the top. And I lifted up the top and I showed nothing but mats underneath. I said, "Ma'am, it's all matted. I'll need to shave it. I'm sorry, but I cannot force your dog into pain and do this. It's going to look holy anyways." She goes, "I'm going to take the dog to a more skilled groomer." All right, ma'am. You have a good day, and if there's anything else we can help you out with, let me know.
Let me guess, 5 minutes later she came back?
No. 30 seconds later, I slammed it in the back, throwing towels, because she got me so mad.
Good to know. So, this next one doesn't apply to us. But it does apply to probably, I'd say, 90% of groomers, unless you're in a big box store or you have the luxury that we have of being in a well-maintained shop. And that is, I'm going to be 45 minutes late. I hope that's okay.
No.
I couldn't tell you how many times Sarah actually called me to tell me I'm going to be late because the owner has to pick up a dog.
Well, see, luckily for us at Shadowin,
Yes.
we have a close time. And it's an hour after I'm done grooming. You know, we're there at 8:30 in the morning. We leave at 5.
But we also have people, we don't have people. They have people that are working there who can check in dogs.
Or check out.
And check out dogs.
So, picking up late for us isn't such a big deal. Now, at my previous shop, when it was 5 o'clock, we are done, we're going home, everyone else is gone, and I have to wait 45 minutes. I've done this once. I didn't charge extra because he was a really loyal customer, and something crazy happened that made him 2 hours late. Yes, I was there until 7 o'clock at night. And he ended up tipping me $40 extra for staying there so late. Because he knew that, you know, I was the one that goes home and cooks dinner for my family, you know.
Actually, I had made dinner that night.
You had to.
Which I know it was a good dinner because you came home and you said, "This was delicious. I wish I could have had it hot."
Yeah, it kind of sucks. I like my meals warm.
It wasn't even close to warm. Even the microwave, it was dead.
So, and then if you're 45 minutes late to your appointment, forget it.
Oh yeah, that's a rough
no.
one. Yeah.
Now, I have made exceptions for very loyal customers who show up every time, and this is just a fluke thing. I've set appointments where they're about 2 hours into the grooming process that they're supposed to be. You know, instead of being there at 8:30, they were there at 10. I did that for special occasions, or if you call me in advance, I can work you in. It's not a big deal to me. But just to call me and expect me to hold your appointment for...
To anybody, to any groomer out there, I don't care, and this is 100% of groomers. There's not one groomer out there who is going to say that they'll make an exception to a new customer. You have to be a loyal customer for this to happen. And I say 100% of groomers.
Or if you're hurting for money and you need to get the dog in...
Okay, I'm usually putting it as if you actually have dogs in the shop.
I mean, I know when the winters are bad and people can't get out and, you know, they have four-wheel drive, I'll make exceptions.
Well, there's an exception to a rule. I have an accident. There was an incident that happened. My kid.
But you're just nonchalant. Oh,
I forgot.
I forgot. Can you just set me up for the 12:30? I'll be there at 12:30.
Yeah.
No, folks, you got to realize that you're working on their time, and you're not the only person that needs their dog groomed.
Yeah, it is a hard thing, and you know, again, here's a podcast that really just opens up the book of it. You know, this is probably even the same book as hairstylists.
Yeah.
They go
a hairstylist isn't going to hold your appointment.
Nope. Nail salon. I mean, I'm a guy, so I really don't know what this is all about. But Sarah goes, so you make an appointment. I'm pretty sure if you're not there, you know, some Chinese lady is going next. It has to happen. So,
there's a joke there.
Well,
there's a big joke there.
Well, they would yell next.
All right, on to the next. we're hitting the 31-minute mark. Anyways.
Oh, you know, I'm trying to get you to move along here.
I'm sorry.
Hey, folks, I only am the producer. She's the talent.
He tells me all the time, you're the windbag.
I do not tell you that. I say you're the talent. And you're the star. You want your own dressing room.
Do I have one? No.
It's called your bedroom.
No, I gotta share that with you.
I'm a bigger prima donna than you are, though.
Yeah, when you got toys hanging up on the wall, it's not my fault.
They are not toys. They are action figures. And they're collectible. And I'm going to stop right there.
Yes, before you lose any ounce of coolness you had left.
I had none to start with, folks.
I mean, you got a chihuahua, for Pete's sake.
I still play video games. I'm 33 years old. I act like this. You really think I have any ounce of coolness?
Can you tell groomers have to have a sense of humor in order to do what they do?
Yeah, good point. Okay, my dog is still, what the boop, still shedding. I mean, I get today. This. I get this, but still.
I had this today. A really good customer of mine, he has an older golden retriever. I've been grooming his dog for the past 4.5 years now, 4 years. And, you know, he made a comment, like he was fishing on why. But he still made this comment.
Did he have a fishing rod in his hand?
No.
Oh. Hook?
But he asked... No, he actually said, I don't understand it. A week after she gets groomed, I'm pulling out a handful of hair. Well, that's what happens. Dogs shed. You can go in and get a de-shed. It will definitely help release the hair. But don't be surprised, after you get a de-shed with the proper de-shed solution, your dog sheds more when it gets home, because it's helped stimulating proper hair growth. So you need to take a look. Okay, if your dog is obsessively incessantly, what word am I looking for?
You're close enough.
Anyway, crazy shedding. What you need to do is take a look at its diet. Look on how often you brush it in an area where it's not going to get everywhere. How often do you take it to the groomer?
And you know what? You'll know your dog's shedding incessantly when you have hardwood floors, but when you come home and you actually have shag carpet. It's probably a good idea. Your dog is shedding way too much.
You shut the door and all of a sudden you jump a foot high because you thought a mouse ran across the room and it was just a hair bunny.
Actually, I love this when you're doing a de-shed, and anybody who actually grooms, and I know we have a few who listen to this, they'll probably laugh at this. When you're doing a de-shed and you're done with the bath and you go to dry, and you're drying a dog, and you're purposely holding your mouth as tight as you can closed because you're in a snow globe of fur.
No, try to do that with a cold where you can't breathe through your nose.
Oh yeah, I during the winter. Oh my gosh.
I had a manager one time go to the dentist, and she went for her every 6-month cleaning and whatnot, and the dentist was pulling out dog hair from her back teeth.
That's
I was like,
grody.
whoa. I know there's times where you blow your nose and you get dog hair come out of there. Dog hair gets everywhere. You are not safe walking into a grooming salon. You're going to get hair everywhere. Especially when you're doing the blow drying, like you said. It goes everywhere. It's a snowstorm.
It does. I walked in yesterday and Craig's blow drying this one dog and it had white fur. As I walked in, it looked like it was snowing.
It was in the bathroom.
It was everywhere.
In other dogs' kennels.
We were digging I was digging it out today. I found some by the Prima.
It's crazy.
It really is. All right, so on to keep going. Can you make Can you make my doodle not look like a poodle?
Oh, we covered that earlier in this episode.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, you had already,
I mentioned it.
You started out doing that at the beginning.
It's people bringing their dogs in, they get a poodle and tell me, do not make it look like a poodle. I get that more in standard poodle owners than anything else.
I'm trying to read this other one right here. It looks like, Goodles loves getting a bath. You know what, folks? I mean, I see 6 to 8 dogs a day, and I'm gonna tell you, out of dogs,
no, you don't. You see 8 to 10.
Well, if they're big dogs,
oh yeah,
I'm talking about the big
6.
dog days. But I see a lot of dogs in a day, and if you add that up in a week, I'm gonna tell you, they don't all love water. It's a myth. I can't tell you.
Dogs can be washed at home, just fine.
Yes. You may wash your dog at home, and it'll be just fine for you. That is true.
They're in the tub with slowly moving water that they know they can't go anywhere.
Yes.
Well, at the grooming salon, they see outs everywhere. They try to find their way out. So not only do they want out, they really don't want water forced onto them. And we try to make it as nice as possible. We try really hard for that.
Well, I don't have dogs jumping out of the tub. That's the one thing. I don't have them diving out of the tub. Obviously, they're secured in place, but they're not trying to get away, but they're saying, I don't want this water on me. And we're not talking hot water, and we're not talking cold water. We're talking about a nice, middle, comfortable water.
Yeah, exactly, because you can't wash dogs in what you would think would be a nice warm bath. You have to chill it a little bit more than what you would like.
Yes.
Because what's hot to you is blistering to them.
Yes.
And what's warm to you is hot to them.
Yes.
So you can't have it too hot.
That is true.
So, same thing with cats. Cats are difficult to bathe. Trust me.
I will probably never attempt that.
No, I got a cat coming in on, I can't remember if it's this Friday or a week from this Friday.
I'm off that day, right?
Well, we have 2 different prices. We have one price for the haircut without the bath, because you can shave a cat dirty, and it turn out okay, but you can't cut a dog dirty and it won't turn out okay. Go figure. But,
I just look at the power bar. Okay, we're gonna kind of move faster along on this. I'll just wait here till you're done. Cupcake loves her mommy. Talking to her. Hi, mommy's girl. Where's my babykins? And yes, folks, people do talk like that to their pets. And you Maybe one of them, whoever you are listening to this right now, you may be one of them saying, I don't do that. Oh, there's my little baby.
He's so cute. This is her first haircut I want to watch.
She's so fluffy.
Yeah, no.
Bad idea.
I've always had a thought, and always, yeah, see that? I always had a thought.
You always have a thought. Oh, I had a thought.
Anyway,
It just doesn't. It doesn't always, come
I've
to
had
fruition.
this policy where my grooming is transparent, meaning that you can look while I'm grooming. You can watch. I don't do anything dangerous. I'm not, rude with the dog or rough with the dog. So yes, you can watch, but it's going to be behind a wall that has a nice little window that has a shade in front of it, so the owner can see in, but the dog can't see out.
There's a very good reason for this.
And then you cannot talk because the dog will hear your voice. They have insane hearing, and they'll go nuts. They'll wiggle. They won't listen to you because they know that mom's or dad's here, so they don't have to listen to you. You're not master. They are. So, when grooming, you have to make sure the owner's out of the picture. Because you need to make sure it's one-on-one. For one, you need the dog to bond with the groomer. And two, you need to make sure that the dog doesn't get hurt. As much as you want to be there and listen, talk to your dog, there's very few times I could actually have an owner come in. And that is, I started the puppy off for its first groom. I've groomed it for over a year. And I've taught it to go into certain places that I want it to stay in. Get a stance right. Then I have people come in. But for the most part, some dogs are just too hyper. If they twist wrong, they can hurt themselves. If you're shaving a pad and in between the toes, and they hear their owner and they jump sideways, you can pull that leg out of pocket because you're not expecting that dog.
And we're talking about even the hip ones are the worst of all.
Exactly.
You pop the hip out.
So you know not to hold on to the dog's legs, tightly, because that can happen at any moment. Thunder. It thunders outside, the dog jumps. So you can't hold it very tightly. But there are incidents that can happen. They could have knocked your very expensive clippers off the table, out of your hand. I've had that happen. $200 pair of clippers go crash into the ground with a $30 blade on it. But it's not safe.
Right.
You just can't do it.
All right. And our last one, I'm actually, sad to see this end. Of course, I'm looking at the computer right now as it's kind of low on battery. The last one. Can't you fit me in? Please let me in. He is only small. It won't take you that long.
I get
I guess I could have done that in a Mickey or Bane or another character voice, but I think I'll just stick with not.
Right now, we are at the salon 3 weeks booked out. And we try to squeeze in as many people as possible because it's hard for people to wait 3 weeks. That's why when you get your dog groomed, you stay there and you set another appointment for the future and you keep it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a good groomer. A premier groomer will be booked out.
Well, you even get people who will send you a Facebook message saying,
Or a
hey, I
text.
forgot, or a text saying, hey, I don't think I actually said it. Can you please set it and then call me back? It happens.
Yeah, I mean, with my customers that are loyal, I make sure that they have my phone number. I said, calling isn't a very good idea. Send me a text. So they send me a text, I'll put it on the books, or a Facebook message, or something. Like I said, I make myself available to all my customers. I don't believe this is just a 9 to 8, 8:30 to 5 job. Yeah. It's a way of life, pretty much. But the groomer will try to fit you in, because for one, the groomer's going to want the money. Everything's money driven. And two,
Wait, are you saying we do this for money and not because we love what we're doing?
a little both.
Okay, I thought I was doing this because I loved it.
I know there's some
Of course,
dogs,
you take my money, so I don't even know where money
blah,
is.
blah, 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 blah. It's a typical marriage. What do you expect?
Yeah, that's true, folks.
Anywho,
I'm a broken man.
enough from you.
Exactly.
So, pleading with the groomer might not get you anywhere. I myself am a very big pushover.
Let me just give them exactly how this happens. Sarah enters salon door. Honey, I love you. Oh crap. Okay, what dog or cat or God only knows what animal are you wanting to foster? Or what did you just do? And then it'll be like, well, no animals to foster, but I kind of took another dog in. Okay, what is it? Well, it's not that big. Okay, it's really small, not that much hair. Okay, it's a Siberian Husky.
You're such a jerk.
Very true, though. Very true.
Yes, I am a pushover. And at my other shop, before you started working with me, at the other shop I was at, somebody would go to lunch and come back, or I work on a random weekend. And
Sorry, I just smacked your hand there. I'm sorry.
It's a random weekend, and they pop in to do something, right? And I'm the only groomer there. And they go, so how's it going? I look at them and say, I have everything under control.
She would call me, actually. I'm going to reference back. Let's reference back. Not last year, because last year I wasn't really around. But let's reference
Due to
2
the fact
years
that you're
ago.
in Qatar, you're in another country.
Yeah, I've actually
Not
never,
just that you weren't around.
I've actually never really mentioned this on the podcast. I wasn't in country last year. So leave it at that. I was literally on the other side. Actually, I was probably more than on the other side of the world. I was in the middle of nowhere. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, 2 years ago, I'd get a call saying, honey, I got everything under control, but I will be late. Well, how late? I don't know. Well, I'm kind of making dinner. What do I do? Well, just put it in the microwave. I'll get to it when I get there. Which, some of my meals do take a while to make.
Yeah, I'm kind of a workaholic, if you haven't noticed.
You're kind of crazy, too.
But, I mean, I got the,
Folks, she's not denying she's crazy.
Chevy and Sophie, okay? An Airedale and an Aussie. They just called. I am going to squeeze them in wherever I can. Now, for you folks, an Airedale, this particular Airedale is about 70 pounds. And the Aussie is about 60.
I'm already tired just thinking about that day.
But the owner has been so good to us. And even though there was a little bit of a conflict on someone jacking a photo of mine, they still said, you know what? We love your groom. We love how you handle our dogs. And you're nice to us. So we're not going anywhere else.
It does help.
So I try to do everything I can to get that dog in. So folks, if you're a last minute dog booker, get in real good with the groomer.
We'll go to the same place
nice.
over and over.
Exactly.
And this is, again, reference all 27 episodes. If you actually build up a rapport, I guess, in a sense, you had referenced this earlier today. I don't know if you remembered it. Same thing with going to a beauty salon, as Sarah said. Guys, I could honestly just shave off all my hair. But if you for women, if you actually
There's
go to
a joke there.
Well, actually, I almost do shave all my hair off. I mean, it is kind of short. But anyway, for women out there, and even guys who go to a hair place, you pretty much go to the same person. I always went to the same person all the time. And I didn't want somebody new touching my hair because I didn't know what they would do. Well, this same thing is in place right here for grooming. It's the same thing. It's just a dog compared to a person.
Exactly. You want to build up a rapport with the groomer. If your dog is not the greatest, make sure you do what you can to make that dog better for the groomer. Another thing would be just make sure that you are upfront with the groomer. Hey, look, I am so sorry. I forgot to book the appointment. is there any way, if you have a cancellation, can you put me up first on the waiting list?
Yeah, there's a callback. You should have a call. We have a callback, and
Well, we have a very long waiting list right now, but
Yeah.
you know, sometimes we can only take itty bitty dogs, and sometimes we have enough time to take a big one.
Yep.
But ask to be put on the waiting list. Get in good with the groomer, and honest to goodness, this might be a little taboo to talk about, but tip your groomer.
Yeah.
An average tip for a full haircut on a small dog is about $5. I feel very, very thrilled when I get a $5 tip from anywhere from Yorkie all the way up to a Cocker Spaniel. Or even an Aussie at $5 would be amazing.
Got a $5 tip on just a BBN for a Chihuahua.
A BBN meaning bath, brush, ears, and nails.
Yeah, that was just a Chihuahua. I mean, that was remarkable. All right.
So tip your groomer. That will help too, because groomers are money motivated. We're not greedy, but every once in a while that $5 in the pocket will help get them some gas, because groomers aren't rich.
And groomers who do podcasts don't make money on these podcasts. Ironic.
Luckily, we've been blessed to have generous clients.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, only reason why I want to rush through here is I'm looking at the battery bar, and I've never actually ran the battery down on this.
It's not red yet. We're at 50 minutes, but it's not red yet.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the battery.
Yeah,
I've never ran. I know.
It's not, I don't. Bar.
I don't know I don't know how far that will go. Anyway, couple things I got to touch on. That's why. Okay.
Touch it, baby. Touch it.
This is a clean podcast. We can't
touch
do
on
that.
the subject, homie.
Okay. So anyway, thank you. Now we're recording this kind of early after we've released episode 27. We're gonna try to start doing these and storing a few just in case. It's summer. We don't know how life gets busy. We want to make sure that we have stuff in the tank and that we're going to give you guys an episode, at least one per week. I want to do it on New Release Tuesday. So I want these to start being almost every Tuesday.
That's a novel idea.
Thank you. Well, I like New Release DVDs and video games. They come out on Tuesdays. Anyway. Okay. Thank you to the responses that we've been getting on ideas about your dog and cat. How do they coexist with their food? I really have enjoyed hearing all of your input. Keep them coming. I mean, they are really good. And trust me, no one ever sends long Facebook messages or email. There isn't such a thing as too long.
Correct.
I love it. I know Sarah loves it. We'll sometimes just read it at the shop amongst each other, not in front of people, obviously. But we do like to actually read it to each other while there. We do it while we're here. But, we have so much going on.
There's a German Shepherd walking by.
Yes, there is. I can't even believe you can see that. It's dark.
Dog. I can hear
Dog.
Hear the color.
I saw the cat run by just not that long. Not our cat, a cat. Okay, there was that. There's a great story. And you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save Faith for next episode.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm not even going to put that in. That's just a little bit of a teaser for the next episode.
It's a great story, folks. You're going to want to listen to it. You're going to want to go see the video.
Yeah, we're going to...
If you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, I mean, you may have already heard of this, but I'm just going to say the name Faith. It's a dog that walks on two legs. I'm going to put the audio on next episode.
Yeah, since we're kind of almost at an hour anyway.
Yeah, I think you guys
and if you're hanging in this far, thank you.
If you are, either we are just so psychotic and you're just laughing at us. No, that's got to be the only way. We're just psycho. It's okay.
Hopefully we're entertaining psychos.
Well, I think so. I'm wondering if you can hear cars passing by on our street. I don't know. I mean, it's better than people yelling in the background or McDonald's or Panera or wherever else. So anyway, let's see. I think I've covered it on this part.
I'm tired.
Well, that's because we had a drink.
No, we had a long day.
Well, that and we had a drink while doing this. And it's already going on 9 o'clock.
Oh,
wow.
Shoot.
All right, guys. Well, we got a lot to do and just a few minutes to do it in. So anyways, I'm Chris Green. Have a puptastic day.
And I'm Sarah Green, making sure everybody understands, comprehends, life is short, play with your pet.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go in my bedtime.